Wilson's Guns, Knives, Watches, and here's another kit bag, but this isn't the kit you've seen before. This is a totally different one. The kit you've seen before is right here and has, you know, $150 canteen in it, and this there, the other, dot dot dot. This is my B set of gear. Of course, I've got, like everything else, there's a primary set and then there's a secondary set. If you're lucky, you can have a tertiary set, but I've been putting back together my secondary set just because of vehicle requirements. Now, what I have in this kit is quite a bit different than the other one, but it's really similar as far as what it actually does. Of course, I've got a sewing kit that I made. Of course, I cut the cardboard. It has a sail needle in it. This is Kevlar twine, and then some tan thread that you can use for making awnings. Still have the foam kit, but you can see this is a B kit. It only has the firewire. It doesn't have the other cord in it because I just don't have another one. This is put together with stuff I have extra around the house when I buy stuff. 3 lock sacks, 12 by 12, 3 by 7, and 6 by 9. Those are always going to be in my bag because when I buy stuff, I buy them in multiples, and that's just the way it goes. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting, because I've got just a silver plate compass with a magnifier. I don't know which one this is. There's no luminous material in it. It has hollowed out 550 cord. Still 2 whistles because they're relatively inexpensive. Hollowed out 550 cord with quick release on one of them. The other one doesn't have it. The other one's got just a knot tied in it. Signaling mirror, glass with duct tape wrapped around it just to keep the cover from falling apart, because they fall apart ever so often. Is that cover necessary? No. Are there other ways I could wrap this up and make it equally as protected? Yeah, and get rid of that cover. Yeah. Still got the wipes in a 6x9 bag. Still have Scott towels because this is still in a vehicle. People spill things in vehicles, this, there, or the other. Got to have Scott towels. Plus, they're just handy. Now, one big variation of this kit is this uses AA batteries, and this is a Quark AA tactical. Now, why is this a tactical? It's a tactical because you can go, and this is the cheaper tactical, 250 lumens or something like that. You can go from full bright all the way down to a moonlight mode just with a single twist. No buttons, no this, there, the other. Very easy to operate. AA batteries. Of course, it has lithium batteries in it. And then I've got 4 additional lithium batteries in an orange holder so that I can find them easily at night. So instead of 1 flashlight, this has 2, and it's a Quark from 4.7's AA tactical. Write in the Rain notepad is still in it, and this is a high-end feature, but it was a $25 pen that somebody did a Kickstarter on, and I forget what the hell it was, but I bought it. It was 25 bucks, and I put a Fisher Space pen insert in it, and of course I've got a Maxpedition Write in the Rain notepad because I get these things every so often as promos at different events, this, there, or the other. Here's another high value knife and high value thing that's in this thing, like the Quark 4.7's. All of this stuff, instead of a Surefire light, all this stuff is very capable. I would trust my life on it. But it's just a little lower line of gear. Yeah, if $70 for a flashlight is lower line of gear, it's a lot cheaper than a Surefire of equal capability. And it's made overseas. This equally is made overseas. It's a Bird Caracara G10. Now, of course, you have to sharpen this thing. and then the finish on the metal is not all that great. So you open it a few times and it polishes up. Put a coat of oil, put a dab of oil on it, and you're good to go. This is a good knife to have in case, you know, in a defensive situation. It's almost the same size as the Endura, but you know, it's made in China, and it's about $36 as opposed to, I think, $100 and some for the Endura G10, which they don't even make anymore, don't even sell anymore. Now, of course, I still have the Victorinox Spirit, and this is the Spirit that just has the penknife, the penknife blade, sorry, instead of the serrated butter knife or this, there, or the other. This is basically as light and as cheap as I can make my multi-tool, and that I'll still work with, and that I can work with. Another big thing in this one is multi-use. These are leather gloves from Costco. These are, I think, Wells Lamont. They've been treated with Obenoff's leather treatment. Of course, I use Obenoff's on all my leather. Now, these are still going to get wet, but they're going to get wet a lot slower. Not only that, it just keeps the leather supple. Now, inside of them are just wool glove inserts. These I got a discount from Sierra Trading Post, but you can buy them. The military, United States military wool liners would probably work. I got these for about 10 bucks. I don't know, you buy these in packs, multi-packs, they're pretty inexpensive. Treat it with Obenoff's, it'll last a long time. You can tell I haven't used these because when I use them, I switch them out. This is a Columbia jacket that's just a lot like my Columbia titanium shell, uninsulated. Has pit zips in it. A really good rain parka type jacket. Has a hood with a bill on it that keeps the rain off of you. Breathes really well for this type of gear. And just got it closed out at a Columbia store for around $75. Is that cheap? No, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than $200. I've got a Filson waxed cotton hat I got on sale somewhere, made in the United States. I wish I would have bought 20 of them, but I didn't. I only bought one, got it for about 10 bucks. Kind of crazy deal. Here's another thing, bandanas. Bandanas, if you go out and buy good bandanas, or you buy them online, they're kind of expensive. This is just a 24-inch by 24-inch piece of fabric. Yeah, it's got some, it's green, man, and it's got some flaherty things on it. It's kind of flaherty, but it works. And it's just something that we had some stains on it, an extra piece of fabric that was left over from a project, and I just cut it up into 2 bandanas. This is one of them. Washed it in the washing machine to get any stuff off of it. It's 100% cotton. It can be turned into char cloth or whatever. As far as water goes, I had a platypus bag. The new platypus bags aren't as usable with these Sawyer minis, Sawyer Squeeze. Now, one thing, why is the Sawyer Squeeze high value? Because of the amount of water that it will actually filter through it. For 30-some bucks, is it the smallest, lightest? No. And I've got an end, as I've shown many times, off of a smart water bottle on mine instead of the standard lid that comes on it. You have your plunger. Do 1,000,000 gallons. If you wash it out, you backwash it. I have the instructions in the bag for someone that doesn't know how to use the thing. In case I send someone out to get water, and this is a 3-liter bag, Platypus. There's another brand that It works better with these Sawyers now because of the thread pattern on them, but you'll have to go online and figure that stuff out yourself. I'll keep the first aid kit. Of course, I've got a 10-liter dry bag. This is from Outdoor Research. I got this on sale. Also, somewhere, probably Sierra Trading Post. And a McNett large towel, just because this is still a car bag, and there's 5 of us. We stay in hotel rooms a lot that are only set up for 4 people. I need an extra towel. You try being in a hotel room with 4 women and see how long your towels last. But you can call and get more. Yeah, but I need one now. Speaking of high value, this is a bag that Cordura fabric that came with one of my sleep system, a Thermarest. It's just a Thermarest bag that I don't use for my Thermarest, that I put my Baco Laplander saw in, which is the best folding saw made. 4 of the MSR groundhogs. These are the older ones. The newer ones are a little bit different design, a little bit lighter. 2 titanium sporks. As I said, this is the B-line kit, but it all still works just the same as everything else. And then we've got 50 feet of paracord and 2 hanks. Now, the water canister in this one is the one from Canteen Shop and the Pathfinder store. It's 40 fluid ounces. Has a wide mouth on it, stainless steel. Has a canteen cup, which everybody's seen these before. I've done umpteen million. Of course, these are perfectly clean. I know. Stove. It's going to be in this bag. It's going to be clean. Trust me. If I can't get it clean, it's just, you know. I know black stuff is looks more cool on video and also works better out in the field. But in my bag where I have stuff and I put stuff all the time, I need my stuff to be clean. To go along with that canteen cup, I've got a heavy cover lid. Now, you have to understand that this thing is 5 ounces, probably 4 to 5 ounces on its own. Of course, the back side is polished. You can use that for first aid, whatever. Signaling, I guess, but really first aid is what I use the mirrors for. Just be aware of that this lid. It's an extremely tough piece of gear, but you know, in a B set of gear, this works really good, or in a wilderness primitive type setup, or in something just heavy duty where you want something to be bomb proof. This is bomb proof. Just understand the weight. More Bushcraft Black, $45. Is this the cheapest knife you can put in here? No, but it's a knife that I'm very familiar with using. I really like mine. I keep a really good edge on it. Of course, your black's going to wear off your edge, just the way it works. So I feel comfortable with it. So for $45 for me, that's not a bad gig. Could you put something else if you wanted something? I'll show you some substitutions that you could possibly do that are popular. A Becker BK2. Of course, this one is made, they're currently made by Kabar. This is made by Camelist because I'm just old like that. And then a Cold Steel Trailmaster if you want something that's a little bit a longer blade length. Of course, you could go with something like, you know, a Glock knife too, but just make sure that if you go with something like the Glock, you know how to sharpen it, and you sharpen it, because no knife that I ever get really is that sharp. You could go more expensive, of course, but for this kit, I'm trying to save weight. I'm trying to have the very best gear I possibly can have in it for the money. And for me, the Bushcraft Black is a good way to go. If you can deal with one of the other Moras, like you're not batoning stuff. You don't live in a bunch of oak. You don't this, there, or the other. Like I'll baton oak, but I'll baton really small oak. I'm not batoning through a big log. This is the, of course, aluminum Moore's pot, kind of named after Morris Kohansky, of course. 2 quart. Lid stays on it. See, I can pick the whole kit up with the lid. So that way if it tips over, you don't spill everything. I've got another one of those bandanas that I cut. That's my second bandana. I got UCO matches with the striker removed and put inside of it. I've got a Bic lighter. I've got a 6-inch ferrocerium rod. You could use any ferrocerium rod. I had this one, so if I was going to go to a survival kit, I'm going to pick the very best gear that I possibly can, even though this is my beeline setup. Mini Infernos, of course, you could use those tenders from Sokoa. You could use anything. In fact, I'm probably going to change these out for tenders from Sokoa. Of course, soap. This soap's a biodegradable soap, and it's for not only washing my kit, but it's mainly for washing me. It'll wash my hair. It'll do anything. It's in an Nalgene bottle. So, and this pot's about $35. And this kit's mainly for working off of a campfire. But that's where we're at. I had one of my SOL tarps fail, so I've had a bunch of these grabbers that I'd gotten on closeout, and this is a grabber. They're probably not as high quality as the SOL blankets, but it's a really good tarp, 5x7. As for shelter for me and my family when it rains. Of course, 2 3mm trash bags, because when I bought for one kit, I buy them for all kits, and trash bags and everything else, and we actually use these things. There's no gun in this pack. And then you've got your first aid kit, and you can line your first aid kit however you want to. I've got stuff, and I'm going to work on this one some more today. I've got chewable Benadryls, I've got Quick Clot, I've got floss for my, well, of course, my teeth, toothpaste, Vaseline petroleum jelly, which I can use for as a fire starter on a cotton ball. I've got some cotton balls in my medication in an Nalgene bottle. I've got pads for the girls. I've got all kinds of stuff. Triangular bandages, Telfa pads. I've got money. I've got enough money in here to fill up the tank of gas. 1 tank of gas, okay? In small denominations. I've got Q-tips, which can be used for first aid and also convenience when you get out of the shower so your ears don't get wet. So that when you're in a survival situation and you're trying to help other people, or you're in a command, or you're this, there, or the other, you don't get sick. Well, this is my kit, and this is my beeline kit. And I'm not saying that these are substandard parts. In fact, these are all very, very high quality pieces of gear. And if you know how to use them, they will get you out of a pinch, and I would trust my life on everything here. One thing I am going to do down the road, I'm going to work into my kit, both this one and the other one, the small pocket survival kit, and that is where my redundancy is going to come into. But anyway, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and these are just some of the options. And you can go anywhere with the knife situation in this whole deal. Don't get hung up on the knives. Get one that works. You're talking about $75 for the Becker BK2, about $90 for the Cold Steel Trailmaster. I don't know how much the Glock tool is, but I never beat on these things that hard. You've got Ontario Rat 7s. You've got just all kinds of stuff that you can possibly use. And all of them are ones I wouldn't be afraid of. Are they going to break? Possibly. But almost anything can break if you put it under the right amount of stress. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and have a good one.